Hi, and welcome to a Drafthouse Diary from Monday, July 8th, 2024, when I went to the Alamo Drafthouse at Sloan's Lake to see Kinds of Kindness, new movie by Yorgos Lanthimos, who directed this and co-wrote it, and he was the director, of course, of Poor Things. I was surprised when I saw that Lanthimos was coming out with a new movie so soon after Poor Things. But as it turns out, this is a very different kind of movie. It's a triptych, a series of 3 short films combined together in a feature release, and clearly made to go together. They share an ensemble cast led by Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, and Willem Dafoe, playing different characters in different stories in different settings. And they're also linked in one other specific way that I won't give away here, just in case you decide to see this movie yourself. But seeing this movie yourself is not something I would necessarily recommend. My overall view of this movie is that it was horrible. It was a terrible movie in many ways, and I feel like I have been made worse by having seen it. I do have to acknowledge that the craft of this movie is very good. It's superb. Very good direction, cinematography, excellent, if quirky, appropriately quirky performances, very unnatural in ways that fit the material very well. But the movie stands as proof that a horrible and appalling thing can be expertly crafted and still be horrible. Here are a few notes about the individual stories that make up this feature. The third story, starting from the back, the third story, imagine if Mulder and Scully worked not for the FBI's X-Files division, but for a sex cult run by Willem Dafoe. The middle story was a repulsive tale about identity and paranoia and mental illness. I will go into no more detail about that one. The first story was an allegory about agency and identity, and beyond identity to free will. And 1 or 2 times during that movie, it had me thinking about this particular story as an allegory for the connection between a director or a writer and their characters. It also had me thinking about the biblical story of Abraham and Isaac. And the fact that it had these 2 different things in my mind at the same time was at least interesting. Still a terrible story. All 3 tales had a certain Twilight Zone surrealism about them. This didn't make them good, but it did give them another point of connection. All that being said about the feature, let's move on to other parts of my trip to the Alamo. The pre-show was clearly made for this release. It started with a cartoon involving traps and threats and a secret society and a cameo by a fake Betty Boop. Very peculiar, but definitely fit in with the cultish surrealism that was part of Kinds of Kindness. A harmonica song and dance trio act that I know I've seen as part of other pre-shows. A trailer for Selznick's movie version of Anna Karenina, since Anna Karenina, the novel, features in at least one of these stories. Music video for Sweet Dreams by the Eurythmics. As usual, they threw that in because it's a song that appears in the movie, and it's pretty well used in the movie. A Dodge, I think it was a Dodge Charger commercial, again, referencing a car that is featured prominently in the movie. And also a rerun of the Willem Dafoe and Emma Stone appreciations that were part of the pre-show for Poor Things. Made sense to include those. It would have been interesting to see something about Jesse Plemons, even though if he doesn't have quite the same recognition that Stone and Dafoe have. And there was a clip or 2 of John McEnroe destroying tennis rackets. Once again, a little Easter egg kind of connection to something that appears in one of the stories. All in all, it was an interesting pre-show, a lot of variety, enough to keep you interested. One of those Easter egg kind of pre-shows that makes you look for the connections in the movie. I did not get dinner at this trip to the Alamo. It was a late screening. I did get some iced tea and some popcorn, and they were excellent. The theater was good, though I'm still waiting for those renovations that the Sloan's Lake Theater really needs. The staff, as always, was excellent, very welcoming. I really like the people who work at the Sloan's Lake Alamo. So even though the movie itself was terrible and not a pleasant experience, it was still an interesting time at the movies, and for somebody who likes movies, it can be interesting and valuable to have an experience that is this challenging, makes you wonder, is there something that you can pull from this movie that is of value? I don't know that I did for this movie, but like I say, it wasn't boring. So that's it for Kinds of Kindness. I hope you enjoyed this Drafthouse Diary. If you did, please click the like button. If you want more of these as they come out, click subscribe. But most important, thank you very much for joining me. I'll be back soon with more, and in the meantime, enjoy your movies. And when you do, stay till the end of the credits. And if you want to see my review of Poor Things, take a look at this video next.